that face.
Now he's posing.
Dr. Gray is here this morning with a lion cub.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Solomon. Solomon is, a little over 2 months, and he's doing very well at our baby animal nursery at Wildlife World.
Wow.
He is, as you said, he's a male African lion. Of course, we've heard about African lions in the news recently. Not for great, happy news, but certainly drawn a lot of attention to what's going on with African lions. You know, when Rick was a kid, there probably were 100,000 lions or more roaming across the continent of Africa. Today, there may be 20,000, 25,000. Oh, there's just been a precipitous loss of African lions across the continent of Africa. And so that's the bad news. The good news is these animals do reproduce nicely in human care, as evidenced by our buddy here. And so there is hope that we can preserve the species and long enough for us to figure out our act and straighten things out.
So
in the wild.
The reason we're losing them is because they're hunted?
They're hunted. Trophy hunting is not the problem. I know that was a big concern last month with Cecil and so forth. But you know, there are a lot of great ethical hunters out there that are great conservationists. You know, you have organizations like Ducks Unlimited and so forth who help preserve habitats because they want to enjoy the sport that they enjoy doing. The real problem, of course, is the human wild animal conflict. These animals will occasionally hunt domestic livestock because as we move into more and more wild areas for agricultural reasons, just like we did here in North America, they're doing the same kinds of things across Africa. And when you have that interface between people and wildlife, wildlife usually pays the ultimate price.
So people are killing them off because they're injuring their animals?
Yes, much like the wolf situation here in North America, that we still are sorting through those issues. The same kind of thing goes on in Africa with predators. The other thing that happens too is, of course, when you have that competition, you know, it affects people's livelihood. I'm not saying that the wildlife is free of responsibility here, because you know, when you kill someone's goat or cattle,
that's where they make their money, feed their family, whatever that might be,
or send their kids to school and so on. So it's a very complex set of issues. And if the story of Cecil last month does anything, hopefully it'll draw more attention to the complex issues going on in Africa and elsewhere.
Can I ask a question about the animal? Why does it have spots?
Well, you know, even baby lions need camouflage. You know, in the Serengeti, the grasses are often dry during certain times of the year. So this provides them some additional camouflage, because when they're at this age, they're vulnerable to attack from other lions that may want to take over the pride. You know, one of the first things that male lions will do if they do take over pride is they'll challenge the adult male, and if he loses, then the cubs can often be killed. And I know that was one of the concerns people had when Cecil was killed, is that what would happen to all his cubs. Well, it turns out that I think some of the uncles are doing a good job of taking care of those. So these cubs need to, you know, hide basically when their mothers aren't immediately nearby to take care of them and protect them.
And when they become full grown, they still have some of the remnants.
They
of the
do,
spots,
yeah, especially the females. They'll keep some spots and a little bit of the striping on their legs. And just beautiful animals. You know, Karen and I went to Africa a few months ago. I keep saying that, but we saw about 18 lions climbed in one tree along the Serengeti. Yeah, it was fascinating. It was awesome.
So being a male lion, he's gonna have the big mane and everything,
He
right?
will. Yeah, once you get some testosterone, it takes about 2 to 3 years before that testosterone starts to roll. Then the hair comes in, and until then, you'll see sometimes young males, they look like young teenage humans, where they're spotty, they don't quite grow.
It's like he has to go through puberty.
That's exactly what they're doing. Yes.
Wow.
Waiting for that.
Oh, he really loves you.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I like the
big
noise,
hug.
the sounds he's making.
Well,
So where do we see the lion at the Wildlife World?
He is in our baby animal nursery.
Is he scary?
Not for long, though. How long will he be there?
He'll be there for probably another month or two.
Okay.
And then he'll go out. Eventually, we're going to pair him up with our young female white lion that came to us from South Africa about 1.5 years ago.
And maybe we'll
But she's kind of big right now. She's
Do a little arranged marriage or something?
well, you know, we got to let nature take its course.
Okay, a little blind date action. We'll see what happens.
That's right.
Okay, look at all these people.
How often do you get
I
people
haven't
to come
seen
to
some
the
of you people in months, and you come out only when the lion cub comes in. We know where we rank on your list.
Boy, Rick, you have a huge fan club.
Yeah, right. This lion does.
is so soft.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay, we're gonna get our picture,
holding
Rick.
on to him just like an infant. He's so sweet.
Here, let's get our picture, Rick.
All right, a lot more going on this morning.